Okay, this is September 17th, 2024, and I'm with Mr. John J. Jeckovich, and we're reading his book, Their Mother's Sons. We're on Chapter 17, page 506, titled News of Renee's Tragic Death. This is the second segment. The first segment was primarily Mr. Jeckovich answering text messages. So if anyone have a text for Mr. Jeckovich, World War II Combat Vet, simply send us a text at 407.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a week, 2 weeks. I've been having one call back, huh?
Tons of text.
Huh?
Tons of text. You got tons of. You've been probably already answered 50 text messages. They come right here on my phone. They don't call. They come on a text message.
Yeah.
You've answered over 50 of them in the last 2 weeks.
No, I was going to get me kidnapped.
You're not going to get kidnapped. Who the hell would want you? So, all right, Mr. Jeckovich. You can text Mr. Jeckovich at 407-366-000. Text him any message, and he'll reply. So before I read your book, Mr. Jeckovich, what is your dog tag number?
42969.
Page 506. I'm going to read directly from your book. We're not going to do any text messages this segment, and we're going to make some ground because I still have over 450 pages to read. Did you want to do some reading? We can listen to you read.
No.
No? Okay. Okay, all right. Evidently, she did not hear, and instead it took upon herself to rectify her way of life for better. She prayed, and I hope she achieved her goal. We're talking about Rose that worked at Kimberly-Clark office.
Rose Kaminsky, yeah.
Rose Kaminsky. She was torn between her true emotions and her driving, almost desire to rid herself of the commonplace of existence. Rose only magnified my predicament and only intensified my resolve to do something constructive. But what do you always do under this conundrum? I was not timid. The Army showed me that I could never think through a plan of action without feeling pangs of guilt. And that mother would have to fend for herself, and she would feel that I deserted her. Surely I had done my share, and in some time it was time to think about myself. But for some strange reason, I could never do that. Think only of myself. And I would always have family responsibilities in the forefront. Steve and Lookie were not overly concerned about Mother, and they were certainly displaying the fruits of their self-interest. I knew for a fact that they would both be leaving the household permanently in a short while, which they would leave me entirely alone with Mother and Sally. I dare say Sally would be leaving the first chance afforded her, again since Stephen Lookie, without undue concern for Mother's welfare or well-being. For the first time, the full impact of my future hit me quite forcibly, and I was frightened by the prospect of it. I did not want to sit it out the rest of my life and nursing some kind of guilt feeling regarding my mother and father. I wanted a life of my own, and yes, a family of my own, away from all this distraction and aggravation. Up to this point, I have never met the test to be self-centered and think only of my well-being, which should be a natural instinct that I somehow never acquired. Anne had shown me my nature when she put me to the test, and I failed miserably. You said Anne put you to the test if you were going to marry her, and you said you failed miserably. I was unaware of what I should have done, but could never follow through with it. I was aware of what I should have done, but I never followed through with it. There are only obstacles in the way and feelings to consider. I found myself thinking more and more about my future life, and I did not like any what I perceived. My job was unsatisfactory. What job was that?
In Kimberly.
And what did you do in Kimberly?
Paper mill.
And what was the temperature where you worked?
Well, in summertime, 107, 110.
It's ironic that just a few short years ago, you're in the front line of the Battle of Bulge, was 30 below zero.
Yeah, yeah.
30 below to 110. Wow, what a story. What a story. My job was unsatisfactory and almost demeaning. Why would you call it demeaning? It was an honest job.
What?
You said my job was unsatisfactory and almost demeaning. It was an honest living.
Well, David, little guy's doing it. He's doing the same thing I did. What was his name?
So?
No, come on.
But why would you say your job was demeaning?
Huh?
What didn't you like about your job?
What, in Kimberly?
Yeah.
I was picking up paper. What was the fifth set? That was the lowest job on the place to start off.
But you
I wound up as a crew chief or some stupid thing.
Okay, I understand. I was aware of what I should be doing, but could not follow through with it. There were always obstacles in the ways and feelings to consider. I found myself thinking more and more about the futile life and not like any of what I perceived. My job was unsatisfactory and almost demeaning, with its shift work and a people I had nothing in common with. I had no social life to speak of. My entire life consisted of working and looking out for Mother and Sally. Okay. I felt self-conscious in the attention I showered on Mother and Sally, almost in a matter of obliging father. It seemed like I was doing a dawning son with nothing better to do. Mother would relish the attention, but would always state she did not ask or want any special treatment.
No.
So your mother didn't want any special treatment?
Yeah, she didn't want to be treated sexually.
Okay, all right. Okay, she did not want special treatment. By the same token, if it was denied her or overlooked for some reason, Mother would sulk and become belligerent.
Yeah, she would, yeah.
Okay. So first she didn't want the attention, and if she didn't get the attention, she would sulk.
Yeah, well, that's the way she was.
Minutes?
22.
Shopping was another ritual endeavor. I would drive them shopping and either wait for them or return a later hour after they completed their shopping. What kind of shopping?
Oh.
You take your mother and Sally shopping. What kind of shopping?
They went to Canada grocery shopping.
Okay, why would they go all the way to Canada?
Well, they said the meat was better, the food was better over there. I would believe it.
How about the exchange rate? Could that have been something that was helpful? The money exchange rate in her favor, could that have been something why they get more for their dollar in Canada?
Well, what, 2 or 3 cents more or less?
Well, you had to take them shopping there quite a bit.
We took it every week.
Did you have to pay a duty on all the groceries? Did you have to pay a duty on all the groceries?
Not the grocery, but the stuff that mother should have paid for on her teeth. She said, no, I got nothing on my teeth. Grocery, they were duty.
So what do you mean her teeth? What happened there?
So mother had false teeth.
Yeah.
And that's what she went over to the dentist. Was cheaper there. And got the dentist to do the teeth over there. And then when the guy at the bridge asked where he got to declare, he said, I have nothing to have but my new teeth I got here. And he said, will you step inside, please?
So your mother was actually excited and kind of showing off her new teeth.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, get in here. We need
There's a duty on him. There's a duty on him.
And so they had to tax your teeth.
Yeah.
Wow. That is really something.
Huh.
That's almost as bad as you had a special couch made in North Carolina, remember?
Yeah.
and the delivery guy was coming from North Carolina through the one of the way stations or something like that, coming into Florida, and he said, well, let me see your receipt. You had a receipt, you bought the couch, but he says you didn't pay Florida sales tax. So then they send you a nasty letter?
Yeah.
What did they say? Would they seize your house or something? Or?
And they're going to seize my house
For
lousy tax.
So that letter came from Tallahassee Sales Department, where you're proud that you're bringing a couch from North Carolina, and they didn't make you to pay the money when you entered Florida on 95, but they sent in a note to the sales tax department in Tallahassee, and then they sent you a nasty letter. But tell us a little bit more about that letter.
The state?
Yeah, what did they say in that letter? I never read it.
They say that you're unfaithful in your duty to pay your taxes.
Did you know you had to pay sales tax on a couch?
Huh?
I didn't know you'd have to pay sales tax on a couch. Did you know anything about it?
No.
Who would? You buy a couch.
No, you pay the taxes out of the house that you bought. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but they said something that if you didn't pay the tax on the couch, they would put a lien on your house or something like that. Remember they said? Yeah. So a simple transaction like going to North Carolina, ordering a couch to your specifications, how long did it take them to build it?
That house?
No, the couch.
Whose house?
They built you that couch in North Carolina. You had a special couch built for yourself. How long did it take the furniture factory to build you that couch?
A regular house?
No, remember the couch you bought in North Carolina?
Yeah.
How long did it take them to build the couch?
Well, that house was existing.
I don't mean the house. I mean, remember that sofa, that couch you had bought in North Carolina? You ordered a couch from the Furniture Mart in Hickory, North Carolina.
Yeah.
You ordered a couch and they built it to your specifications. How long did it take them to build the couch?
The couch?
Couch, sofa.
Sofa, about 6 months.
And
No,
so,
they had it at a factory someplace.
So anyways, you paid for the couch, you paid the North Carolina sales tax, just like a regular transaction, and the guy, the government at the border said you didn't pay your Florida sales tax.
Yeah.
So about 2 weeks later you get a letter stating if you don't pay this and this amount, then we'll put a lien on your house and sell it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they could never do it.
I know, but at least the letter was nasty.
Yeah.
It would upset elderly people.
Yeah, they were pissed off.
The
Yeah.
letter would upset elderly people, that's for sure. That's for sure. All right. Oh, boy. Shopping was another ritual endeavor. I would drive them to shopping, either wait for them or return later, and they completed their shopping. Seldom would I drive Mother to work unless the weather was bad, but I usually picked her up when I was not working. She would become distraught if I did not pick her up for some reason, and refuse to enter the car when I would be there the next day to pick her up. So here you are, you're working on your job. You can't pick your mother up because you're working, shift work. And then the next day when you're off from your job, you go pick up your mother and she won't get in the car.
Yeah, she's pissed off.
Oh Lord, this is a tough one here.
Sally didn't pick her up. Sally was driving.
Yeah.
Looky did pick her up. Stevie was there.
Looky very seldom went to these lengths for Mother, as it never expected of him. He would go his own way, and outside of an occasional reprimand, nothing was said to him. This would frustrate me considerably, but would never deter me from doing what I thought I had to do. About the same time Rose was getting married, in the middle of summer. Did she get married in Niagara Falls?
Who?
Rose?
Rose Kaminsky, yeah.
Were you invited to the wedding?
No.
About the same time Rose was getting married in the middle of the summer in Niagara Falls, I mentioned earlier the Vietnamese Liberation Army in the hostile with the French were torturing and killing the missionaries. Renee's name was listed in the New York Times. It listed Renee as Sister Monique. Name is posted after the civilian casualties and the missionary clergymen. I still could not comprehend it fully of Renee's tragic death. I did not seem like that one person with all. It did not seem like that one person with all the goodness and love in her heart should meet such a pain.
Yeah, that's what she did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how she wound up.
That life snuffed out after suffering much physical and mental pain in the hands of cruel and savage barbarians who knew nothing and cared less of her lofty and safety goals.
Yeah.
We still have savage barbarians today.
Yeah.
Maybe more than before.
Yeah.
Savage barbarians. Most of them are sociopath with no empathy whatsoever. Zero.
Yeah, they go after the religious people.
Yeah. Let's see. Religious people. Was your mother highly religious?
Oh, yeah.
Roman Catholic?
Roman Catholic.
Attended church?
She had church, say prayers on her knees every morning.
Were you a religious person?
Up to an extent.
What does that mean?
I wasn't as good as my mother.
Okay, but you're a practicing.
Yeah, but I was doing more religious things as an everyday occurrence than my mother was. My mother was real selfish.
So you're a practicing Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I understand. Okay.
My mother wanted everybody to be waiting on her.
And if you didn't wait on her?
Oh, yeah.
What happens if you didn't wait on her?
She sulk. He sulk, close the door and sulk.
Minutes?
12.
How many?
12.
So you mean to tell me your mother would sulk a lot?
What?
Your mother would sulk a lot?
Sulk?
Sulk. You said your mother would sulk if she didn't get her way.
Soft or sulk?
S-U-L-K. Sulk. Did your mother, if she didn't get her way, what did she do?
She get quiet. Close the door and tell them to get the food ready. I'll feed them. No, they were split up on who ate first and who ate second.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when my father was there, my father ate with Phoebe and Lookie. And I ate with my mother.
Was that every meal or just dinner?
Well, the one that my father was there, my father went to work at 7:30, but lunch he didn't come back for, and mostly supper time.
All right, but let me try to understand this. Was your dining room table so small that everyone could eat it on it? Is that was the case?
The dining room table?
Yeah, was it so small that you had to take different shifts to eat, or what was the reason why everyone ate separately?
That's the way they wanted it set up.
Okay. It wasn't because of lack of space.
No, it wasn't like, especially the table was big.
And so the reason why was that they wanted to eat their dinners with those in that fashion.
Yeah, it was a ritual. It was a ritual.
So, okay.
Just like here, when these people, the management eats, they don't eat with us.
No.
They got the little room to the side. They go there.
Okay. But getting back to your mother, if she didn't get her way, she would become very quiet.
Yeah, she sulk. Yeah.
Sulk, yes. Now, when your father was alive, your father died at 43. At 43, worked to death, died in laying cement. Did your mother ever give him the quiet treatment?
Get what?
Did your mother ever give your father the...
Oh, yeah, it drove him crazy. It drove him crazy. My father couldn't understand why she was doing it. My father never did that.
But your mother gave your father the quiet treatment.
Yeah.
Would this go on for a few hours?
It goes for a couple of days. But she wouldn't miss making the suppers and dinners and that.
She kept up the work. Yeah.
But you knew they weren't compatible. They
weren't compatible.
No, I mean they weren't compatible when they were arguing like that.
So
my mother argued with my father all the time.
So look what a great life you had. You met Delphine Stulak. You had a great marriage for 69 years. You had a great marriage for 69 years. Your mother must have been only married 10 or 12 years. Not very long.
Oh yeah, father passed away at 43.
Not very long.
Probably killed him. Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Huh?
Why would you say that?
43?
Yeah, why would you say
young.
Your mother probably killed him? Did you say your mother probably killed him?
I mean, her action drove him crazy.
Yeah, that has to come back to a story of a Cuban guy I once known. He walked past my house. He's in his like 103 or 104. This fits in right what you just said about stress in a marriage. And I'd stop him. One day I stopped him. I said, "What is your secret of longevity? You're walking pretty briskly. I know you told me you're over 100. I couldn't remember. It was 102 or 3. He spoke in a broken Cuban accent. First thing in the morning, he gets 5 or 6 strips of bacon. And then throughout the course of the day, he smokes 3 or 4 or 5 cigars. And then at night, he has like 6 or 7 rum drinks." I said, "Well, that's everything you're not supposed to do." He goes, "Yeah, I buried like 4 doctors already."
Oh yeah, that's a fairy tale.
No, I visited him firsthand. I'm getting to the point of the story. This ties into what you said, and I seen the guy face to face, so I know he was real. He basically said this: you commented that possibly the stress from your mother killed your father. That was your comment. But this guy here said, "I have great longevity because I was never married, no stress." So that fits into your story.
Well, that's how he figured it.
That's how it fits into your story.
Yeah.
But sometimes, just some people, no matter what, they just have an iron-clad constitution. They can abuse themselves in any way, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When other people's constitution, if they drink a beer, they're probably sick. Yeah. So everyone's different, but certainly you got a great constitution for almost being a young 100 years old, and as sharp as a tack. Sharp as a tack.
Sharp as a tack, yeah.
You are, you're sharp as a tack. Let's face it. Getting old is not for wimps. Certainly when you're almost 100.
Another year I'll be 100 years old.
Yeah, getting old is not for wimps. It's difficult. There's always, every day is a battle. Every day is a battle, especially when you get old. Many people think of you as a human cash register. They have a different thing, sell you here, sell you there, service this. It goes on and on and on. So it's very difficult. How many minutes?
6.
What's 6?
6 more.
On the tape?
Yeah, 6 more on the tape. But I was just commenting that, getting old is hard, correct, Mr. Jeckovich?
Oh, yeah.
Getting old is not for wimps, right, Mr. Jeckovich?
No, it doesn't get any better.
And is it as hard what you're going through now in a stressful fashion as had you had to deal with your mother or dealing with in the war? Did you have about as much stress now as you did then?
It's a different kind of stress.
But it's still stress.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't know getting old is not for wimps. That's the simplest way to put it. Because you have all these things that you have to deal with every day. And then when your knees blow out, you need help with everything. You need help with the bathroom and a shower and etc.
You get dependent on people.
The list is long. And a lot of people don't know it's very, very expensive getting old. It's very expensive getting old. So if young people are listening, maybe it's now to prepare. Because I had one text message about, oh God, it must have been 3 months now, about longevity. And a person says, oh, I'll be fine when I retire. I'll have my house paid for and I'll have $1 million in the bank. And I said, I would not want to be you. I would not want to be you because you will outlive your money. And let me just give a couple examples, which I told him. a halfway decent assisted living, which they, feed you and help you with the restroom and shower. That's like, on a low side, decent is like $9,000 to $15,000. And now, if you want the privilege, that's a per month. Now, if you want the privilege of going home, you need 2 full-time assistants, 30 an hour times 2, 24/7, and now you're talking about $37,000 to $40,000 a month. So think about that last scenario. The guy texted me, I own my home and I have $1 million in the bank. Going by spending to live at your home at $37,000 to $40,000 a month, if you need help because your knees are blown out, you'd be broke in 2 years. You'd outlive your money by 67. Outlive your money by 67. So that's for the young people that are listening to think about how they can handle it, what they can do. Now when you get to 100, that's a whole other game. You would have to have funds from 65 to 100. Now we're talking about funds, big funds, for 35 years, each and every year. And many people I've talked to that are up in age, they all think that their kids will take care of them financially and physically. But what happens there, Mr. Jeckovich, when they think they're kids?
Kids aren't there.
What happens? They disappeared.
They disappear,
They disappeared. So if you're on the illusion...
No, you've been faithful.
That's different. I'm talking about majority. You have 2 sons and another daughter.
And J.K. never showed up.
You couldn't find him.
And Tom was a lost cause.
Yeah.
Sally was a lost cause.
We don't even know if they're still alive.
Yeah.
We couldn't contact. We don't even know if they're still alive.
Who's showing up? Nobody.
Nobody. So I want people to understand that if you're under illusionary notion that you have a family, yeah, you probably have a family when everything's going smooth and everyone doesn't need your help. Everything's fine. You have a beautiful family. But then when you have to take care of an elderly mother or father, 90% of these so-called, we call them slacker siblings, they disappear. What they do is they abandon you like a rat on a sinking ship. And this is a fact. Your family will abandon you like a rat on a sinking ship.
Yeah, well, I didn't abandon my mother. I stayed with my mother until she passed away.
That's what your whole book is about.
Yeah.
Their mother's son. And so, let's face it, some of the most poisonous people on this earth come disguised as family. Some of the most poisonous people on this earth come disguised as family. So if you're thinking that your ace in the hole is when you run out of money, you'll have your sons and daughters step up. You'd have a better chance. You'll have the better chance of winning the lottery.
Have a rude awakening.
What's that?
You're gonna have a rude awakening.
I like that, a rude awakening, because these narcissistic asswipes, once they realize it costs money and time to be with an elderly person, they just don't show. It's actually a mortal sin, but these people are also sociopaths. They have no empathy. They're on the social media telling everyone what great people they are, but really they're not. Really they're not. Like the most poisonous people on earth come disguised as family. So when everything's going great in the family, everything's beautiful, you go to picnics, you go to this visit, that visit, but when they actually need you in your family, they disappear. They'll abandon you like a rat on a sinking ship. A rat on a sinking ship, and they won't even call you on a holiday or a birthday or anything going on, because they might have to say, what can I do for you? What can I do? And they won't do nothing. So don't be an illusionary notion that they're going to help you, because they won't.
Well, thank the Lord I didn't treat my mother like that.
Yeah, well, you didn't. And a lot of these family members who you think are such great people, when it gets down to it, if you're, for example, if these are the type of people that most family turn out to be, if you're on, say for example, I'm just saying this in just a fun fashion, not in a reality fashion, but this kind of sums up what kind of family you'll have. If you're on life support, these slacker siblings would unplug your life support just so they could charge their cell phone, So don't put in your plan that you might have family, because 9 times out of 10 it won't work.